So, yeah. Well,
What's the next step for Herbert in his quick evolution here?
first of all, he played real well. I think he's ahead of where we thought he would be, which is a tribute to him. Just the little things, reading things a little bit faster, taking a little bit more command. He's doing it really good, but it's like any position. You can always play better. You're one of the best games since I've been here a quarterback's played, but you can always get better. And that's what makes him good is he always thinks he can get better.
Yep. It seems like taking command could be the most difficult thing for him, given his quiet personality. Does he have to yell out anything at the line or anything like that? And
he's loud when he needs to be loud, which is a lot like Marcus. And we haven't really had issues since he's been in there as far as the cadence, and he's taken our tempo to a next step, which to do that you have to be loud, you have to bark out fast commands, and that's actually been a strength. Now he's very quiet off the field, and I think that's a good trait to have. Just a very humble, likable guy that's, he's his own worst critic, and he's got a great heart, and I think that's another reason our guys love him so much.
Did he need any prodding and being vocal out there, or was that just something that he came with?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I think, and that should be expected. When you're a true freshman and you're handed the reins and you're thrown into a situation maybe a little bit faster than you thought would come, it's hard for anybody. And so, yeah, we had to encourage him a little bit. Hey, have fun with it. Take charge. That makes our offense go, and he's responded great. I mean, he's one of the more coachable guys I've ever been around.
And he said just a few moments ago that he feels like the more plays, maybe one or two at a time, different styles of plays, are slowing down for him. Have you seen that maybe different plays or different sets are starting to slow down and come easier for him?
Yeah, I think the more confidence, he's one of those guys, when he sees something and understands it, he can execute it really well, like any of our guys. The more that we can get him to understand, hey, this might look different to the defense, but it's really our same play, if you think of it like this, and be able to just put things together in his mind. It might look different to a defense, but for us it's the same. That's for coaches, it's easy. The players, it takes some time. You got to rep it. And the only way you can do it, it's one thing to be able to draw it up. You got to be able to go out there and do it, and he does it really good.
It seemed like Dakota was the same way, and he was his harshest critic. Is that a good trait to have in your quarterback?
No question. Yeah. If you're content, you're not getting better. And again, he played as better than I ever thought he would play this at this early in his stage, and he had a lot of players around him that helped him do that. But he was the first guy to say, hey, there's a lot of things I can do better.
How big of a factor is the tight ends being healthy and what they can do been in his development, Herbert's?
Huge development, because that gives us a lot of flexibility from a coaching standpoint of what we can do with those guys and different packages. The thing I like about our tight ends is, they're very good in the run game, but they can also play outside in our passing game, which, from a play caller standpoint, it gives you a lot of flexibility.
Given Justin's stature, he was able to run over guys in high school. It appears he's trying to do that a little bit when he runs in college. Have you had to talk to him about?
We're working on that. Yeah, that's a work in progress. The one thing, I love his heart and I love his courageousness. He's definitely not afraid of contact, but we want to protect him. And so that just comes with time. We had to do the same thing with Marcus. Tell him to be smart. Hey, we need you for the next play. It's all right, but we'd rather have you go down and get ready for the next play. And I think he understands that. But again, that just takes reps. But I'd rather have it the other way, where you have to calm a guy down because they are fearless and they love to run the ball, as opposed to encourage a guy to have courage, because that's definitely not an issue with him.
He's a baseball guy, so the slide should be there then, right?
I know. I didn't figure that one out either. That's a good point to bring it up to.
What's your approach to Adoree Jackson? Do you want Justin thinking about where he is, or just running the plays?
He's a great player, but they got great players all over the field. And our offense is more progression-based, meaning if we call it a route, for example, if the first guy's open, no matter who's covering him, you throw it to him. If he's covered, you go on to the next one. So it's not so much, we have certain times where we'll try to get a matchup, but it's more so progression. So again, they have a whole bunch of good players, not taking away anything from him, but it's more just, the coverage is going to dictate where the ball goes and how fast Herbert can see it and process it and make a fast decision.
You're noticing him improving in that process of how quickly he can make his reads?
Yeah, and that was the biggest. I know that from a fan standpoint, you guys would see him. He made a lot of great throws, and he obviously can really run with the football and he showed a lot of poise. But he did a lot of things that people don't see, as far as getting the protection in the right way very fast, and then knowing where to go with it fast and making quick decisions. And that's what amazed me as a coach, is how a freshman, who's only been here for 3 months, can do it that way.
Downfield blocking, obviously, it's always been important for receivers, but how do you instill that culture with your receivers?
Well,
Taking pride.
it's something where you have to be able to do that or you won't play. And we rotate a decent amount of guys on the outside, and the biggest deciding factor is effort and blocking. And so it's something that's expected here, and if you don't do it, you won't play. And our guys take pride in it. And to do that, you got to have guys that put team goals ahead of their goals, and know that to win, you have to. Blocking is every bit, if not more important than it is making plays with catching it.
Royce had another tough game. What's your evaluation of this play? Is he banged up, or is it just not running well?
I think it's a combination of things. I think there were sometimes just his bad luck of the thing where they blitzed. They had the perfect run blitz to when he was carrying the ball. So there was unblocked guys hitting them where no one could have done anything with it. And it's just it is what it is. And that but I thought at the end of the game he kind of got some creases. When we had to spread out a little bit more, play a little more pass defense, we started throwing, and I thought we were able to run the ball in the fourth quarter. I think he had 2 big runs where it was, where he looked pretty healthy, where he was hitting it, made a guy miss. So again, I think he's going to keep getting better, but I've been very happy with, our other backs. I thought Tony James is right now playing out of his mind, not just as a running back, but also as a special teams guy, being a big leader for us.
Do you expect?
Difficult at all for you when you have a guy like Royce who has all the talent in the world, but then you've got Tony James who, like you said, is playing out of his mind. So how to split those reps and everything?
Well, that's a good situation to have, and Tony deserves to play more, so he is going to play more. But we all know that Royce is a great player. He's going to continue to make play for us. But those are situations you want to have. You want to have guys pushing other guys, and the better Tony plays, it makes Royce better because he's fresh. The more we can play him, the more the other guy's going to be, and vice versa.
USC, do you expect them to come after Justin a little bit? ASU was able to get after Justin a couple times in that game for big losses. What do you expect USC to do?
That's hard to say. ASU, that's kind of the nature of their defense, and we knew that going into the game is because they blitz so much, they're going to come home. I mean, they're going to make some plays, and I think they lead the league in either sacks or tackles for loss. But we also knew we could get some big plays. We just had to be patient. I think SC has the ability to create a lot of pressure. They got a great front four, and they do a good job with their pressure package. So it'll be interesting. We don't know. We try to prepare for everything, but we don't know. The good thing about it is, Justin feels very comfortable back there, and I think, regardless of what happens, I think he's already shown the poise to where if they do bring pressure, he knows how to handle it.
USC's been playing better and better on defense. The team as a whole has been playing better and better. What have they done differently that's made them so effective the last couple weeks than versus their struggles in the beginning of the season?
I think they're playing really fast. I think that's a tribute to coaching because they understand what they're doing, and so those guys run around and make a lot of plays. So that's what we try to do as our coaching staff is if our guys are playing fast, that means they understand what they're doing and they can actually go play, and that's what they're doing to me. I mean, they know their scheme, they run to the ball, and it's going to be a huge challenge for us.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you guys.